Episode 122, the 2018 Roadmap Show. And for the third year in a row, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. And you are listening to episode number 122 of Mike Murphy Unplugged. Learn, create, move forward. I am your host, Mike Murphy. I'm a one-man band. I'm a technology junkie. I love helping people figure things out, and I am really excited to be here with you today. The goal of Mike Murphy Unplugged, it's to help you learn what you need to know in order to create online content so you can move forward in business and in life. In today's episode 122, I will share my 2018 roadmap to keep me on track this year. What is my mantra or theme for 2018? What are my priorities for Mike Murphy LLC in 2018? And what type of content will I be creating and how often? But before I get into the details of my goals and ambitions for 2018, I want to back up and discuss the opening quote that I have used for the past 3 years of doing this roadmap episode. And yes, it is really hard to believe. This is my third year in a row. Wow. The quote, "If you don't know where you are going, any road will get you there." This is credited to Lewis Carroll, the author of, Alice in Wonderland. It was paraphrased from a dialogue between Alice and the Cheshire Cat. Here it is. Alice says, "Would you please tell me which way I ought to go from here?" "Well, that depends a good deal on where you want to get to," said the cat. "I don't much care where," said Alice. "Then it doesn't matter which way you go," said the cat. "So long as I get somewhere," Alice said as an explanation. "Oh, you are sure to get somewhere," said the cat, "if you only walk long enough." Now, I am a sucker for simple lessons like this, but this is one of the reasons that I do this episode each year. Creating a roadmap forces me to think about my objectives and aspirations in detail and makes achieving some of them a reality by putting a plan in place. The roadmap points me in the right direction, and I know that I'm going to steer off course at times, but it gives me the clarity and focus in understanding the general direction I want to get to, and unlike Alice, I do care where I'm headed. My mantra and tone as I head into 2018. So 2017 was all about simplicity and reducing physical and mental clutter, and that will not change. In fact, I even plan on taking that up a notch. But my mantra for 2018 is fundamentals and storytelling. My story. Who am I? What am I doing? Why am I doing it? And how am I doing it? My idea is creating a blueprint or a template of my journey that will help me achieve my big picture goals while helping others create the life they want through the content that I create. And let me be clear, I love helping people, but I have finally realized that in order for me to do that best, I have to take care of myself first and be my main priority, and I have not always done that so well in the past. I realize storytelling is a buzzword in podcast space and content creator world, but my main reason for wanting to share my story in 2018 is simply my relentless pursuit of happiness and to be the best content creator and educator I can be. People trust and buy from brands that have an origin or backstory they like or can relate to, and I know that sharing my story will help me clarify my intentions and purpose and hopefully resonate with others who will be motivated and inspired because of something I shared. And that sounds pretty good to me. I love and will continue making tutorials and tips and tricks. For 2018, I want it to be more about crafting my message and my why to the world in a creative yet simple way. Who, what, how, and why. My name is Mike Murphy. I am a one-man band. I help people figure things out by teaching the tools that you need to know so you can move forward in business and in life. I often use the catchphrase, "create the life you want," because that is exactly what I am doing. And 2018 is sharing the blueprint for my story. That was a long wind-up. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty and put the pins in the 2018 roadmap so my Vespa and beach cruiser do not get lost. The Mike Murphy LLC priorities for 2018, and not necessarily in order. Priority number 1, generating income and marketing my services. Same as last year. My savings and emergency funds have been keeping me afloat, but the runway is up. Fortunately, my side hustle, Murphy Concierge, that I created at the end of 2017, has started off strong and will be my business focus for 2018 because I love it so much and it has the potential to pay my bills and give me some breathing room. But plants do not grow without water, so I have to put energy into Murphy Concierge if I want to make it work. And I do. Sometimes you do things that just feel right. Well, this feels more than right, and the response so far has been overwhelmingly positive. Murphy Concierge makes me think of the famous Confucius quote, "Choose a job you love and you will never have to work a day in your life." It's that good, so Murphy Concierge will grow more in 2018. Priority number 2, tutorials and classes. Teaching and creating educational content is the core of my personal brand and everything that I am doing, so this will be a priority in every roadmap. But in 2018, I want to create with more intention and focus than I did in 2017. I pride myself on creating daily content. You've heard me talk about that over and over again. It pushes me creatively, and quite honestly, I do it because it differentiates me from everyone else. It is not easy creating videos 365 days per year, and this is all part of my big story. I want to be recognized as pushing the envelope and not being average or like everyone else. I believe that I can work most anyone, but working smarter is a much better plan of attack. So 2018 will be scaled back a little because I found myself creating just to keep my goal, and I was losing my reason for doing so, and I recognize this and will adjust, something that I think I do pretty well. 2018 will be more about creating videos and tutorials around the fundamentals of my process and what other people are doing online. I can make what I think is a great tutorial, and the questions that I usually get are, how did I make that graphic move, or what tool do I use to do this or do that? So, my game plan is to teach for the beginner in mind and bundle my tutorials into fundamental packages or classes that I can sell. I hate to cook, but I see my tutorials as recipes, and I want to create cookbooks that people can use to create things for their businesses and brands. Fundamentals in 2018 and story. Which leads me to number 3. Priority number 3, the one-man band book. I know. I said the same thing in last year's roadmap. But guess what? I've been on many road trips where the car broke down, and that doesn't mean that I turned around and gave up. While I did not actually write the book in 2017, as I said I would, I thought about it nearly every single day, and that is sometimes how I get things done. There are certain things that take me a minute to bring to fruition, but the things that are important never leave my head, and the book is one of those things that I hope will happen in 2018. That is my plan. Warning, this podcast is going to play a vital role in writing this book, and I hope to share chapters or the entire thing in audio form as episodes if the response is good and if it translates well. All I can say is that I plan to experiment a little and shake things up. I have no idea how it's going to pan out, but I'm going to give it a go. If I do not think that it is good content for you, then I will not do it. And if I get positive feedback, then I will do more. Fundamentals and basics. Priority 3.5, writing. The book is the big goal, but priority number 3 of writing is more than just the book. I really do not love the act of writing because it is really hard on me mentally, but it is one of my strengths and I tend to ignore it. But in 2018, I want to embrace it a little more and repurpose my already existing content into articles to strengthen my online portfolio and to strengthen my personal brand as a thought leader. I write a lot every single day. Every tutorial, post, and podcast is a lot of writing, but my goal is to tighten up the packaging and the message. Fundamentals and story. Writing is the foundation of all content, so I'm forcing myself to flex that muscle some more, as that is usually where the magic happens. Priority number 4, ask Mike Murphy in some form or another. I did not crack the code in 2017, but I really want to use live video for Q&A. I believe that one of my superpowers is also the ability to understand what people need and to solve problems for others. Murphy Concierge is doing that on a local level. I am providing convenience and tech support for people. I want them to feel like they can reach out to me whenever they are stuck or in a bind, or if they need help purchasing a new device, and they trust that I'm going to give them the best solution. I thrive on the Q&A, and I think it will take my authority and personal brand building to another level. So Ask Mike Murphy is something that I really want to incorporate in the mix in 2018. Priority number 5, YouTube. I don't talk a lot about it, but being successful on YouTube is a continuous goal of mine, and I have had a slow and steady wins the race mentality. I want to find my groove and grow a community on YouTube, and is one of the reasons that I want to work on the fundamentals and storytelling aspects of my content. I also see the potential of a successful YouTube channel as being a good source of revenue, whether it be through AdSense, selling my own products, or Amazon affiliate links. Priority number 6, health and wellness. I'm now 48 years old. I'm in pretty good shape physically, but I want to be in really good shape, both mentally and physically. I believe that is the most important piece of the whole entrepreneurial and life puzzle. In everything I am doing and teaching, being happy and healthy are probably the things that are the heaviest on my mind, and I think that most people want that in some form or another. One of my priorities is to create more content around the role of health and wellness in my journey, and to document more of my routines and to up my wellness game, because I know it is vital for my success, and it is a great way to connect and inspire people. When I feel good about myself, everything around me changes. People seem nicer to me, opportunities magically appear, and life just seems good. Who doesn't want more of that? I do. So I'm listing this as a priority in 2018, and it should be on every single roadmap. All right, let's do a quick recap, and then I'm going to finish out episode 122 with some numbers for how much content I plan on creating so that I can track my progress of how I did next December. So my mantra or theme for 2018 is fundamentals and storytelling. Getting back to the basics in my tutorials and classes, I plan on making and telling my story of who I am, what I am doing, why am I working so hard, and how am I creating the content and the tools and resources I use to move the bus forward. My priorities or focus areas for 2018: Murphy Concierge as my main source of income, creating more focused and quality tutorials, creating bite-sized classes of step-by-step fundamental processes, writing the one-man band book, one chapter at a time, and sharing the process and possibly entire chapters on this podcast, writing and repurposing content and distributing as articles, Ask Mike Murphy live streams on Facebook and YouTube Live, building up my YouTube channel and community, and health and wellness. Now this seems like a big list, and it is, but everything is connected as I see it. It is my ultimate goal to create a content machine that is nearly automatic and flows. Murphy Concierge is solving problems. Those problems become content for tutorials, and those tutorials get bundled into packages. And my process and routines get documented in articles and videos to inspire and motivate me and others. And people want to know how I do everything and stay so healthy and positive. So I do weekly Ask Mike Anythings, where I build up my community and I grow my authority and brand. Something like that. And of course, before I do any of these things, I wake up early after a good night's sleep to write my book, exercise, and eat a healthy meal. All doable and a pretty good plan if I do say so myself. I'll wrap up today with the numbers. What will I be creating and how often? My plan is actually to create less content in 2018. The podcast and newsletter, once per week. Tutorials and quick tips, I'm cutting that down to 3 times per week. Medium.com articles, twice per week. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, 5 days per week minimum, probably 7. Instagram stories, my real therapist, 7 days per week, guaranteed. In the live stream for Ask Mike Anything, I'm going to say once per week. All right, products, step-by-step bundle class. I'm going to keep this low and say 2 for sale by the end of the year. How many books will I write? I'm going to say 1 book in 2018. I hope to have it written by July of 2018 and have the final all done and stuff by the fall or the end of the year, okay? And finally, merchandise. I do have some really good ideas for merchandise, but my goal is to just have one signature t-shirt that I can promote all year long, something to do with the one-man band. And FYI, if there are any artists or illustrators out there who want to contribute to the one-man band journey, hit me up because I am looking for some illustrators to help me illustrate my story. Well, that's a wrap for the 2018 Mike Murphy Roadmap in episode 122. Truth be told, I am really not big on goals or declaring how this is going to be my year, and I'm so glad that 2017 is over. I consider myself practical, very realistic on most things, and my goal or intention or purpose is always to learn more, get better as a person, and be happy. Everything that I am doing online and in business and in my roadmaps, they are the steps that I am taking to achieve my overarching big life goals. Now, posting 5 days a week, let's say on Instagram. This is not a life goal, but pushing myself creatively and putting in the hard work keeps me sharp and focused in how I think will launch me ahead of the competition, in air quotes, because I honestly do not feel as though I am competing with anyone. I do keep my finger on the pulse. I pay attention to the content creator landscape, and I draw inspiration when I can. But my name is Mike Murphy. I am a one-man band, and the only story that I need to create is my own. And you are a big part of it. I thank you for joining me today. I hope you join my one-man band, and together we can learn, create, and move forward. Cheers.